Good morning, guys. I'm Blackie and welcome back to the channel, and today I've got a really big announcement that I'm really happy and pleased to be able to bring to you. As those of you that followed my channel know, I developed a BLACKBIRD system of a haversack, a rucksack that incorporate together, and I said there'd be other pieces coming out about it. Well, about a couple months ago, I started talking about a sustainment pouch. Something to go on the outside for the winter time or other occasions. What I wanted with the BLACKBIRD system was adaptability and versatility. Exactly what we're going for is I need my kit to adapt to what my given situation, the gear I need to carry because of the season or the length of the camp out or whatever, and I want versatility. I want it to be a mix and match as I need it. So I've developed several products to go together. And one of the products, the first one you got to see of it, was this little bitty pouch. Now what this was, I called it the Sparrow Hawk. It was a sustainment pouch to go on the outside of the Nighthawk rucksack to be an expansion area, an area where I can carry other gear whenever I need to carry my main gear in my pocket of the Nighthawk. But I want to carry more food, or I want to carry more, some specialty piece of gear or whatever that I need for this camp out. I don't need to carry it all the time, but I need to carry it now. So I needed to be able to adapt to what I need. Instead of having big old empty flopping pockets that I don't need half the time, I want something I could take on and put off. Real easy. So this was the concept. This was the prototype that I made up, so don't laugh, it's crude. But it would be a roll top bag with a reinforced edge, and then it would have a series of belt loops on it so that it could attach to the loops on the side of the Nighthawk. Put it there and hook. Now there are several ways you could do it, but I chose to use Alice clips. These are still manufactured and available on Amazon. You can get them for relatively cheap for a good pile of them. And they work very well. U.S. military used these for a lot of years, and I'm very familiar with them. And there's also a molly clip that goes that you can get, but that's another day. We'll talk about that. But back to, so it'll hook to the side of it. This was my prototype, and this is the final version. Notice how we've got the closure on the top of it. I'll demonstrate that in a minute. It is a square bottomed pouch. And then it has a series of double loops all the way up. So there's a top loop and a bottom loop. And these can be used as belt loops or etc. So now we're going to talk about how this can be incorporated. First off, I wanted the size big enough to handle most of the bulky gear that we'd want to carry in camp, and yet not too big. It's big enough that when you put it on the side of the rucksack, it will make the rucksack wider but not much deeper from your back. So unlike an Alice pack, which most of us start out using an Alice pack, and I didn't like an Alice. It never fit me because the more gear you put in it, the more it wanted to pull you over backward. You had to walk hunched over because of the way the bag was set up. I didn't want that. I wanted it narrow so that I could stack deeper or wider but not further away from my center of balance, so it didn't want to pull me backwards. This bag attaching to the side of it turns the Nighthawk rucksack with two of these will have a larger cargo capacity than an Alice pack. It's right up there with a lot of the British Bergens and stuff like that, and will kind of resemble a British Bergen then, or the side. Now I've got this one, I've got more coming to me pretty soon, and I'm going to put them, two of them on later on in a later video, and you'll get to see it fully outfitted for the winter outfit, but we'll get to that another day. Now let's talk about this. It's made of waxed ripstop canvas, just like the rucksack is, same material. It has a roll top that you roll down, and then you have a pair of D-rings and a strip. You come over, go through both D-rings, like that, pull it down, and then you separate the rings and go back between them and pull that down, and that locks it securely. I'll let you see that up close. See? That's all there is to it. Now to open it, all you gotta do is just pull the rings apart, pull that strap out, and there it is. But then again, see, it's 2 rings. You roll it down to wherever you need. You come across, you go through, and then, of course, this is a lot easier when you're not doing it on camera. Separate the rings, come over and go back through, just like that, and you pull, and they lock together to hold it. Can't get any simpler. I like the KISS method. Keep it simple and stupid. It works, it holds, and it's easily adaptable. Right there. Now, let's talk about how this bag is going to be utilized. First, as a cargo carrier, a sustainment pouch on the side of the rucksack to put food into. I wanted the bag to be big enough that I could put a week or more's food supply in here without any trouble. There's 3 days worth of food for me. And then I can, belt loops on that side, remember there's a series of loops. I can roll the pouch down to whatever size it needs to hold it at, then come over the top and anchor it. Just like that. So now it's a small pouch that I can put down here low on the side of the rucksack. It don't have to be full length. It can be shortened down. Now what if I want to carry something bulky in here? Well, I thought of that. 1 quart Pathfinder canteen set, complete cook set. No problem. Goes right in. All the way down. It'll carry it just fine. Two quart bush pot. You're going to have to fiddle it a little bit, but it is designed to allow you to fit that in there with the bell pointing down. You're just going to have to fiddle it in there. Two quart bush pot. It'll carry the 2 quart. A very common thing that we see in camps today. A lot of this Pathfinder cook set. So I wanted it to carry my Pathfinder cook set. See? I know they also, Pathfinder sells pockets and stuff for it, but I want to be able to carry mine without having to get an extra pocket. A grail. Since I can roll this down, here's the other advantage. I'm simply going to take this strap, and why we didn't go with a buckle, because the buckle will get in the way in certain instances and it might break. This is super simple and will last forever. I simply take that strip, lay it down, and start rolling the whole thing just like you'd roll your shirt sleeves. And it will roll down. Alright, I go down as far as I want. Okay, I go down as far as I want. And I can put this on the side and be able to sit a grail into it. And so have a quick access. Notice I've got a attachment. I've got an S-hook right there, so I could hook this to the pack itself as a bucket and then just take that and hook one of the loops higher up to carry it. So if I need it on the trail, I can just hook and pull it straight out. It acts as a water carrier. It'll carry canteens. It'll carry anything like that. Also on my belt, see, this is also a gather bag. So I can take it off, roll it down like this, put that belt loop right there, my belt through it, and have a gather pouch that's this size for me to hang on my belt like this, to have a place I can gather berries or whatever when I'm foraging to put in here, where it's not a big bulky bag, it's a short bag, quick and easy. Now, the last carrier is the Pathfinder Swedish stove set. This is an original stove set, but you get the idea. Will fit in here just like this. So it can carry that Swedish stove set in it on the side of your pack. So you don't have to put it inside if you don't want to. So it's a gathering bag. It is a food carrier bag. It's a sustainment bag. It's a carrying that extra bulky stuff like extra clothing. Because in the winter, whenever I'm utilizing this bag, I need adaptability. Well, it's winter now, and so I'm wearing bigger, bulkier clothing. Inside my rucksack will be my standard camp, which means my cook set, for example, fire making kits, etc. My haversack will be up here on top of it. On the outside of it will be the extra food that I need to carry because it's going to be cold and I'm going to need to be drinking a lot of coffee or whatever to stay warm. Or I'm going to be out here 4 or 5 days, so I need extra food. Also for bulk clothing. This is big enough for me to put clothing into, roll it up tight and put into it. So, that bulky pair of long underwear that you can roll down to something about like a folded up towel will slide right into it, no problem. Of course, it's waterproof wax canvas, so it's safe on the outside of it. And another use, once I get this in there, it wouldn't be on camera if it wasn't a little difficult. Pushing a towel down in there. Full-size bath towel. It fits. There we go. So you've got room for your extra clothing. Clothing that really ain't that heavy, but it's bulky. Those big, heavy wool socks that you need. That you need to carry extra pairs in case your feet get wet. That sweater you need to roll up. That extra underwear. That extra toboggan, whatever, goes in here and goes on the outside of the rucksack. Easy access. Now, what else can this be used for? Several things, but here's the other one. When I stuff it full of socks or whatever, and I roll it down a couple times, nice and snug, fold that end over, go through the loops, separate, go through the loop, pull it down snug, pillow. This is about the right size to be a pillow in a hammock, which is where I prominently go. It'll go right behind my neck, and that's the size and thickness I'd want. I can adjust this by taking off my day clothes. Remember when we've talked about staying warm, I'll take off that t-shirt, that whatever that I wore during the day, and I'll put on bone dry tonight to sleep in. Well, I put them into here, pop it off of the side of the pack, and slide this in the hammock, and I've got a way to keep my head comfortable, insulated so it keeps my head warm, and my head will keep this bag warm. So in the morning when I get up, the clothes that are in here for me to put back on are warm. A win-win all the way around, all in a bag that big. Now, let me attach it right quick. I'm going to take my 2 Alice clips right here, which again are super simple. I'm going to find the 2 clips relevant. I'm just going to put that one over there, that one over there. I'll come up to the bag where I want it to be, starting at the bottom. Slide it through, close. Slide this one to the top, slide up to the next loop up, push it through, closed. There it is. That easy on, that easy off. It'll hang right there. Okay, I got my Blackbird haversack. Hit the quick disconnect. I will not be using the Alice clips for this, so they just come right off. Now, I'm going to put it on so it goes to the flap. So, taking my strap, I'm going to go through this loop right here. Make sure I don't get my strap turned. And then I'm going to come back through this loop right here, just like this. Lay that out flat, just like that. And I'm going to come to the correct part down here on my double D ring, same way that I close all the stuff. Right about there, double it in half, go back through, pull it up so it locks, and I'm going to take the excess material, double it up and go through that loop, just like that. Alright, now when I pick it up, now as you can see, it rides right there. I still got access to my haversack, but now my food quiver will sit right there. It's secure. I can lift it up out of the way. It'll slide up and down that strap, and it doesn't bother me. When I rotate it around in my normal position to carry it, back here on my butt, completely out of the way, so I got full mobility. But I can still bring my haversack around to get into it with anything I need to do. Even if I need to scoot this up, flip this to the inside to get to this pocket, I can still do it. Adaptability and versatility. That's the Blackbird system. So, the Sparrow Hawk Sustainment pouch. It's a belt pouch. Roll it down, put it on my belt, run my belt through it. So it's a gathering bag. It's waterproofed, and has been sewn at the proper space stitches to hold water. So it will hold water. No, you're not going to be a water transport where it won't leak. You're still going to get a little bit of seep at the seam. Not bad. But like I've demonstrated in a video, I want to camp here. But the water is 300 yards that way. You know, all the firewood and the cover I need is right here, but the good water is way over there, and that's a lousy place to camp next to that water. So I want to create a well here. I'll dig out a hole, line it with a trash bag, walk to the water source, take the empty bag, like I've made sure that my rucksack and my haversack will do. Well, this will do the same thing. I can dip it full of water, carry it by that handle back to camp, and then pour it into that trash bag lined hole and have a well here where I can dip out water to heat up, to cook with or whatever, boil with, clean with, etc. without having to walk at 300 yards. The bag will hold water that way. I put as much thought into it as I did into my rucksack and into my haversack. It's simple. And most people are going to look at it and go, man, it's just a bag. Yes, but it's what the bag has been designed for. Adaptability and versatility. That's what I want. I wanted a material that was soft enough to use as a pillow. I wanted a material that was waterproof so that I could use it to protect my gear and be able to carry water with it. I wanted it to be something I could adapt to be a small bag or a tall bag just by rolling it up and down to whatever I needed. See, I wanted to be able to carry a grail. I wanted to be able to carry a stove set. I wanted to be able to carry a week or more's food. I wanted to be able to carry several days worth of clothing outside of the rucksack to make my rucksack better. And best of all, come off when it's not needed. It doesn't have to be part of this set. It can be put in the front of the rucksack or on either side, or even on the bottom of the rucksack. I've got loops down there. This can also ride on the strap of the haversack by itself as an extra. So in summertime when it's good weather and I'm carrying, I already carry, as you know, a full-size hammock and a tarp inside my haversack for an emergency shelter. Say I want to do an overnight because the weather is perfect. I can put food in here and attach it to that strap, or attach it through those loops across the top of my haversack flap to have it as a food carrier. So I've got all my camping gear covered, and I've got my food right there. Versatility, adaptability. That is the hallmark of the Blackbird system. It has to be able to adapt to the given situations, and it's got to be versatile to always be able to carry what I need when I need it. That's the system. So I'm going to put up a picture at the end of this video that's going to be Jay's contact information at Possum Pouch, who's the manufacturer of these. They're going to be on his website. When you see this video, he's already got a run of, I think, 20, he said, made up. So if you would like to get one, the retail price is $30 a piece. He's got, like I said, 20 sitting there. So if you contact him, and when they sell out, he'll add you to the list for the next run and tell you when he's got the next 30 ready. So it's going to be something that you don't get from Blackie, you'll get from him. He'll be manufacturing them as demand happens. Okay? Guys, thank you very much for all the support you've given me over my channel and these products that I've brought to market. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.